Hello everyone, it is Stephanie Nash from Inkspire Me, coming here today with this great It Starts With Art card. This is a card I did at my cocktails and cards class on World Card Making Day. So I thought I would do a quick video to show you how easy it is to duplicate this project. So we're going to start with the Purple Posy base. And it measures 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to fold that in half to be a quarter fold card. And of course I forgot my bone folder, so let me just grab that. All right, I'm going to give it a nice sharp edge here. That's going to become our base. Next, we're going to use a piece of Rococo Rose, and it measures 4 by 5 1/4. So normally that would be a traditional mat, but we're actually going to turn that a little bit. And then we're going to stamp on a piece of Whisper White, measuring 3.5 by 4 3/4. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is stamp our background on the Purple Posy. The sample I've already created, you might be able to see that there's some of the markers peeking through. So that's what we're going to stamp. I'm just going to grab that. And I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper just to protect my background here. All right, let's go ahead and do that. So to begin, I'm going to stamp in the Purple Posy ink, and I am randomly just going to stamp all over the background. So it doesn't matter which way they're facing, but you want to try and get them lined up. Now you could use your Stamparatus for this. I'm actually just eyeballing it, as sometimes the imperfections are a little bit neater than having them all symmetrical. And so you can see I'm stamping off the card base here, so they're not all centered on that base. They're just random to fill in the background, because only parts of it are going to peek out, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And you could turn the markers to face different directions so they're not all going the same way on your card. One more row. Perfect. Nice and easy, and that lends a very cute background to the project. That is super cute by itself. So if you wanted to leave it just like that, you absolutely could. Next, I'm going to use the Rococo Rose piece that I cut and the Scripty 3D embossing folder. And so I want the words to be going horizontally. So I'm going to use the line here along the embossing folder to line up my cardstock to make sure that it's straight. And then I'm going to use the new embossing folder plate to create my sandwich, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine, which is just off camera here. All right, so there we have a nice embossed sheet of Rococo Rose. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up. And we're gonna just adhere that to our base using whichever adhesive you prefer. I still have Fast Fuse, so that is my preferred at the moment. And again, there's no right way or wrong way to do this. So I'm just going to stick it to the base. And then I'm going to grab my paper snips, and I'm just going to open the card, and I'm gonna trim off the excess. Oops, and I missed over here. There we go. So an easy card base ready to go. So let's go ahead and stamp on our Whisper White. So for this, we're going to use Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And we're going to use the same markers. Ink those up. And I'm going to stamp towards the top of the page. Now I'm going to bring back my Purple Posy and my Rococo Rose inks, and I'm going to bring in a blender pen. If you've never used a blender pen before, this is a great way to get markers without having to invest in entire collections. It is a glycerin based pen and it picks up the color from your ink pad. So for example, if I dip the tip in the Rococo Rose here, I can now use that to color my image. And as the ink starts to wear out, your image gets lighter. So you can control how light or dark you want the element to be. And what I like about these pens is when I'm done with the Rococo Rose and I'm ready to switch to the Purple Posy, I don't need a new pen. I can just simply scribble this on a piece of paper until it runs clear and then start over. So let me finish coloring this marker here and I will show you exactly what I mean. So you can see that the ink is getting lighter. That's because it's running out of that color that it's picked up from the ink pad, which is great because I want to switch to the Purple Posy. So now I'm just going to scribble on my scrap paper here until it runs clear. And now I'm ready for the next color. So now I'm going to use my Purple Posy. And I'm going to pick up that color and just start coloring the elements I want in Purple Posy. I do find with the lighter colors you need to pick up more ink. So this is where re-inkers come in very handy rather than your ink pads because they are highly concentrated. There we go. And let's do some coloring here. All right, so I'm going to scribble that once more. You can see all the colors out. I'm going to go back to the Rococo Rose and just finish off this guy here. There we go. So there's our colored image. We'll just scribble that, make sure it's clear for the next time I'm ready to start. So the next we're going to stamp using this little filigree border. I'm going to tap that on my Rococo Rose and I'm going to stamp that towards the bottom. All right, so we've stamped in the Rococo Rose, the filigree image. Next, I'm going to use the Let's Stay Up Late and Craft image in Purple Posy. And again, you could use your Stamparatus for this, but I'm just going to eyeball it and stamp that between the filigreed image. Now to finish the project off, we're going to tie a bow around the front of the card. Now bows can present a problem for a lot of people. So I have a bow maker. This is just a piece of wood that has some holes drilled into it and some dowlings that will adjust to the different size bows. So I'm going to cheat and use this to create a bow. If you've never used a bow maker before, I strongly recommend you look at it, as it does tie a perfect bow every time and they don't slip, which is phenomenal. And it's a great way to save your product. So there we go, there's our bow, and we're going to adhere that to our card before we adhere it to the base. So bringing our front back in, and the bow is going to go between the two stamped images. So I'm going to put a little dot of adhesive just to hold the bow in place. And then I'm going to turn the front over and I'm going to adhere the ends of the ribbon to the underside of the card. We're not going to see this, so it doesn't actually matter that they don't wrap all the way around. And there is our bow. So let's bring our base back in, and we're going to bring in some dimensionals because we're going to pop the front of the card up a bit. You can never have enough dimensionals on a project, so don't be stingy with them. I like to make sure it's not going to collapse if it's in the mail. It gets squished, so let's just pull the backs off of those. All right. And we're just going to stick that onto the card like so. And then I'm going to use the Noble Peacock Rhinestones in the pink and just add some bling to the card. Never have enough sparkle, so let's just add a couple more. There we go. And there we have it. A simple, quick and easy card that you could send to friends that you want to invite over for a craft date, or if you're a demonstrator, you could send this to your team for a team meeting. But it came together really easily, and you can adjust the colors as you see fit. And there we have it. Thanks so much for watching. I will leave the products and the dimensions in the comments below, so be sure to check it out. Have a great day.